us see with the deposit of the banks. Now, what is the role played by the banks here when it comes to money? What do the banks do? So we might have almost all seen a number of kind of banks like HDFC it could be, or ICICI it could be, or SBI it could be. You might have seen different types of banks. Banks can be classified as one, which are called as the nationalized banks, and the other one is the private banks. So these are the two types based upon the ownership. Nationalized banks are almost owned and governed by the government, and the private banks are owned and governed by the private individuals. Like these two are the private banks and this one is a nationalized bank. So what is the role played by these banks? Have you ever visited a bank? Do you have an account? Do you all know the functionings of the government? If you know, it's well and good, and if you don't know, just you can have a glance. Now these banks, like see, every person who is earning, who is on a job, receives a certain amount, or who is in a business receives some amount as a salary it could be, or as a profit it could be. After meeting all his or her expenses, he will have some amount left out with him, which we call it as savings. So the savings also can be called as the surplus money. The surplus amount that an individual has got after meeting out their expenses, that surplus money is deposited in the bank. So those we call it as deposits. So these deposits are done in the bank in three different forms. Like usually bank will offer three types of accounts. One as the savings bank account, and the other as the current account, and the third as the fixed deposit account. In these three forms, one can open an account and they can put their surplus money in these accounts. Usually the individuals with a minimum savings or with minimum transactions to the bank, like nearly 5 to 6 transactions per time or in a month, they'll allow them to open their account in the savings account, and they'll have a reasonable rate of interest that will be granted to this account per annum. Like the banks pay from 3% to 4% of the interest on the savings that are put up in this account. Usually all the individuals who are saving their money out of their income, they can open up their accounts here in the savings bank account. The second one is the current account. Current account is usually, has got no limit on the number of transactions. There is no limit and there is no restrictions, and there is no interest also. Interest is not calculated on these accounts. And usually it is proposed to all the business units, those who are running the business. So for them, a current account is usually preferred. So in this current account, the rate of interest is less. There is no restriction on the number of transactions. They can withdraw money and they can deposit the money at any point of time. The third account that is offered by the bank is called as the fixed deposit account. This account is usually preferred for all those people who are particularly depositing their money into the bank for a fixed period of time. The time is fixed, like it may be for 1 year, a 2 year, or a 3 year period of time. And during that time, the rate of interest is high when compared to the savings account. The rate of interest is high, and there is a limit on transactions, like only in a particular period of time that has been fixed for, only then the account will be given to the people and they can draw the money from that particular account. And even they can break the period with the nominal fees that is offered by the bank. So banks, what they do is that those who have got the surplus of money with them, they take in the form of deposits. The bank will accept the deposits from their customers, those who have got the surplus. What do the customer get for depositing their surplus in the banks? On those deposits, bank will offer them the rate of interest. Interest is paid on those deposits which are deposited by the customers or by the people in these accounts. So all that money that has been deposited are called as debits. the account is debited, or the debits of the bank. Okay, so such kind of deposits are accepted by the banks. Now, what do the bank will do with these deposits, with all this money? What do they do with this money? Whatever the money is received by the banks in the form of deposits, they retain out of all those deposits nearly 15% of the money in their banks, and the rest of the money they give it to the customers as credits or as loans, in the form of loans. They give it to those people who are in need of money, like some small business people or even the big corporates. Those who all need money, they will give to them. So the job of the bank is that to collect the money, those who have got the surplus, and give it to those who are in need of the money in the form of credit. So something that they receive is called as debited, something they give it to the other is called as a credit. Okay, that they are giving it to the others. So what do a bank get by taking away the surplus and by giving up the loans? What is the benefit of the bank in this? What is the business of the bank in this? Is the job of the bank is just to take out the money from the surplus people and give it to those who have got the need? Are they doing any social service in this? No. We need to understand the funda. As I told you, the one who deposit their money into the bank, they'll all get the interest. Say a bank will offer a rate of interest to all those deposits somewhere around 4% or 5%, and this rate of interest will depend upon the bank, and RBI will help out for each branch to fix what rate of interest should be given on the deposits to the customers. So the rate of interest is usually like 4, 5, 6 and all that. Now, whatever the amount that has been received as the deposits are given in the form of loans to those who are in need. Now, when they give a loan, they usually charge more rate of interest like 12% or 15% or 18% or close to 20% also. So the rate of interest on loan is usually more than the deposits. And whatever is the rate of interest that you see the difference, 4, 5% and the 12 and 15%, the rate of difference that you get, like for example, say a particular bank is giving a 5% on the deposit and it is giving 15% on the loans, the difference is nearly like 10%. The 10% is the income of the bank that they take. And with that income, the banks usually get benefits. They meet out all their expenses. They meet out all their requirements from the 10%, the difference amount. Usually banks, when they give a loan like this, they take a lot of care and a lot of safety in that. When a depositor deposits the money into the bank offers another modern way of making the payment, making the facility of making the payment to the customers, that we call it as a check. Any bank account holder who is opening an account, once when he open up, a person is also offered a facility of a checkbook. You might have seen a check as well. How does it look like? There may be like a 10 leaves or 20 leaves, depending upon the requirement, depending upon the mode of account that you have opened up. Based on that, the checkbook is provided. What is this check? A check is nothing but a kind of a paper, a demand from the account holder to the bank. It's a request or it's a demand from the account holder which is offered by a person who is holding an account to the bank. It orders that the bank should pay to the check bearer the amount that has been written upon it. Let me tell you how does a check look like. Here I have just drawn for you. Maybe in the background or in the other way, I'll try to give you a picture as well. You can see the picture also. How does a check look like? Now this check that I have drawn is of some bank, say some SBI or some XXX bank. It is saying like that, pay Mr. So and so person. It is always having a date. Date is always important. Okay. There can be checks which are called as pre-dated checks, and there can be post-dated checks. some dates which are like today's date is something, and we give it in the back or in the later days. If we write it like say for example, if it is 20th of July now, and if I give a date of 15th on it, such kind of a check is called as a pre-dated checks. And if the date is today 20th, and if I give the date on it as the 30th of July, then we call it as a post-dated checks. So that for our convenience or for accounting purpose, these people they usually go for pre and post-dated checks. It depends. So we write the name of the person to whom we are offering this check. We write the amount, whatever in words, like 2,000, 3,000, something like that. We write it in words. We write it in numbers. Here in the numerical form we will write it. The account number is already printed because the check is issued by the bank, and then it has also got the bank address on it, the account number and the bank details, the branch code, everything will be there. And there is another column which is called as a signature, which will carry the specimen or which will carry the signature of the person one who is ordering this. Then you will see some numericals here at the bottom, one here and one here. Okay, so this one could be considered as a check number, and this one is for the office or office use of the bank. And this check, usually checks are of two types. One is considered to be a bearer check, and the another one is called as the account holding or account pay check. It is called as an account pay check. So two types of checks are there. Usually I'll just try to tell you clearly what is an account pay check. Now if you look at this check, I have written here an account pay check. So this can be considered as an account pay check. Why? What does it mean is that I have issued this check, and I am asking this person that he should be paid this amount, and it should be paid only if he is having an account in his bank or in my bank. So the check is issued only those people who have an account in their particular bank. So he will not go to my bank, he will go to his bank and he will deposit there in his bank. And his bank, after he deposits the check, that bank will send this check to my bank, and then the bank will process it. It may usually take nearly 2 to 5 business days to usually transfer the money from my bank to the person to whom I have given to his account. So this can be called as a account pay check. Suppose I don't want to give an account holder, and I just would like to give it in the name of that particular person. We call such kind of a check as a bearer check. Whoever's name that I'm bearing here, whoever's name is written here, that particular person, irrespective of the account he or she is holding in this bank or in any other bank, irrespective of that, he or she should be paid this amount that I have ordered. He just need to show his ID that he is the person written here. He is Mr. XXX. If he shows an ID, the bank will issue that amount. If the amount is little bit larger, some private banks will give a call, say that there is an issue of a check in this name and this is the amount, can we go ahead? For security reasons, some checks will be cross-checked by the banks as a security purpose that they provide it to me. So like this, the other form of money is also existing in the form of a paper, in the form of a card. It is also existing. You might be knowing a debit card. Okay, you might be knowing a credit card. And nowadays we have got net banking facility. We have got mobile banking facility. All these facilities has come up. So a number of methods and the new forms of banking has come up to us so as to provide the facilities to the people and its customers.